and I've been through a lot. And you can still have that light in you. And that is what makes me who I am. But you still have to have boundaries, and you still need to understand that proximity is your protection, and not everyone deserves to have access to you. Hey ladies, welcome to Cocktails and Convo. My name is Cheryl Desire, owner, designer, curator of S Desire brand, a luxury loungewear and lifestyle brand. I'm so happy to announce we are back for Cocktails and Convo. Let's say this is season 3, okay? So yes, the season is starting again. To start this season, we are starting the season with something new. We are going to call these conscious cocktails. These are your more so conscious cocktail that is non-alcoholic, so you can call it a mocktail as well, but it's conscious because it actually include herbs, natural herbs, and wellness inclusions for your relaxation and all of the things. So it's not just like a sugary non-alcoholic drink. It actually has some benefits. So we are going to call this Purple Passion. This is a lavender sugar-free cocktail, and it is topped with Reese's, I believe it's called. That's like a wellness sparkling water that we're testing out. A little bit of lemon juice and some dehydrated orange and lemon. It's so delicious. So, if you are in your elevation season, you will still want to sip, slay, and luxuriate, but you also want to elevate. Then you want to add conscious cocktails to your menu. We'll be coming more and more. We'll be sharing more and more about conscious cocktails in the near future. We still love our cocktails, but we want to be conscious about what we're drinking and what we're digesting, and as we're elevating our lives, and we want to look good, we want our waist to be snatched, we want our energy levels to be amazing. So we actually have to start being mindful and conscious of what we're consuming. So that's why I wanted to introduce you guys to like a new vibe, okay? Because we're elevating, and that's what it is. All right. So cheers. All right. Okay, so tonight I am wearing the Lady Luxe Pink. You can find this at CherylDesire.com. So what you do is get a robe and a scarf that match. Yes, that is very much our signature here at the brand, and it's luxurious, very silky, sexy. You're just gonna feel so feminine and fabulous. Only found here at S Desire brand. So of course we do cocktails of convo. We come comfortable. So I hope you are also in your robes while you're watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel S Desire brand, because we have some amazing things coming up. Our content, product drops, amazing things that you ladies are going to love. Okay, so let's get into some things. All right. So I got little cue cards. Look, listen, we're elevating over here. Okay, so instead of me always, I'm getting a little older, so I can't do everything off the dome. So we got our little notes and things. So today's topic is protecting your energy. So this is about boundaries and the power in proximity. All right. Now, I actually started this episode around Valentine's Day, but I decided not to drop it because I felt like, because in the first 3 months of the year, I'm fasting. And this is something I started in 2024. So this is pretty much 425. So this is the third year that I've been doing it. And sometimes I feel like I just needed to concentrate on the clarity God is sending me, instead of being in tune to trying to send the message out, but actually just in receiving mode. So that's why I take a hiatus from Cocktails and Convo, which is awesome because that helps me actually do the work and focus on my elevation and my healing and all the things. So I kind of did some more work on what I needed to say even back then, and add some more 2 cents to it, because I actually had to learn that to have more boundaries and to really understand the power in proximity and the protection of proximity. Because when you are too accessible and you're not really being mindful on what type of energies that are around you, that can be detrimental to your elevation, your transformation, and you being the best version of yourself. And there was a time where there were energies that were around that may have been trying to siphon my energy or silence me or just drain me. And I had to really learn that you have to understand that the proximity is your protection. So you need to be mindful on who is coming around you, who you are giving to, who are you pouring into. That is very, very important. And I had some really tough lessons between, I guess, around 2023 up until 2024. No, I'll say 2022 up until 2024. I really had to live that out and kind of get those lessons the hard way until it got to a point where it really got bad, which is a story I'm holding on to later on for my book. But it was something that I really had to learn, that a lot of people are parasitic. They would try to drain you of your just goodness. And if you are an abundant woman, if you're a woman with divinity, you have to be really mindful. And this is for the women who are naturally in their divinity energy but don't understand the power in it, and the women who are trying to get there. Okay, so if you're a work in progress, this message is also for you. Sometimes you don't know. It's kind of like a beautiful girl who don't know she's beautiful, but men know she's beautiful, and every scum of a man would try to take advantage of her and drain all her beauty and drain all her essence before she even found out that she's just so beautiful, that she's just so valuable. She don't even know yet. That's where, in the spiritual sense and the mental sense, a lot of women need to recognize and understand that when they're giving up their proximity to people, that they need to understand they need to have boundaries, because not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Okay. So, for example, a lot of people have been talking about like Rihanna, like, oh, Rihanna, her beauty has been fading since she's been with A$AP Rocky. And I've noticed it, but you know, just being a forgiving type of woman, or just being kind of empathetic, I'm like, oh, she had babies back to back. But I know for firsthand that when you are around people who are not for you, they don't even know. So it's not something that we're just going to try to bash these people. But when you're around people that you're not supposed to be around, your beauty's going to fade, your blessings are going to be blocked, and there's going to be a downfall in your overall aura, because people can just be naturally parasitic. Parasites in your body will drain all the essence, all of your nutrients, all of the things out of your body. And that's just their nature. Like, they don't come for you to try to suck, blood suck you. It's just their nature. Some people just have that. So you have to be mindful on who you're giving your energy to, and where you're going. What kind of places are you going? What kind of people are around? I had to really understand that a lot of the places that I was going, or some of the people I was with, I was in a higher frequency than them. It's a hard lesson to know that too, because I'm in Philadelphia. Philly is pretty layered, so you can have your really like, Philly can be really cliquish. It could be, you have your urban side, and then you have your more elite side, and then you have whatever the black Philly, and then you have other sides of Philly, and I was realizing that I needed to start being in rooms that match my frequency. And I love when I fast, because that clarity comes a lot easier for me to digest. So this fasting season, instead of me doing 3 months, I did 6 months. Now, in my previous episode, I talked to you ladies about when God is speaking to me versus when it's just my own thoughts. And this was another thing, because the fasting came about through a message directly from source. It wasn't something I wanted to do. It was like the beginning of January. I'm like, it's winter, it's cold. Nobody thinks about doing like something so profound as far as my fasting regimen. But it spoke to me, and I just started doing it. And as I started doing it, things just start unfolding for me, and blessings just start coming to me. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna double it. But it actually was, I got to April. I did my fast from January the 4th to April the 4th. Very, very much disciplined and committed. And then I think probably that weekend my fast was supposed to end. God was like, no, you can do 3 more months. You can do 6 months all in total. And I was like, oh, okay. Wanted to challenge myself for that, and I stuck to it. And luckily I did do that, because it was something, a new message came to me right after that. And I think if I was drinking after the fact, I would have not gotten the tea. I wouldn't have gotten the clarity I needed to really understand who you are becoming and those who need to fall behind in that process. That was something I really had to see. And when you're not drinking, you start seeing people masks falling off and slipping off, okay? You start to see things for really what they are. So it was like, okay, the 3 months, my body already got used to it. But once I got to that 6 month mark, you really start putting your clarity glasses on and really start seeing people for who they are and what they stand for, and just really seeing like who's pretenders, like I have like this real like pet peeve on pretenders. And I don't want to, I'm all for authenticity. Anyone who meets me in person, I'm the same person that you see on these cameras, the same person you see dancing in the videos and all of the things. I'm the same person when you meet me in person. All love, all, good vibes. And I started to realize some people are pretending to be certain ways. And then when you start to see them flip, that mask started to, slip, and it started to get real grimy under there. It started to look like Jason under there. And it was something I really needed to really stand on and say, you do not want to be around people who are pretenders, who are trying to appear something that they're not. So I had to really, really do the hard work on, not everybody needs access to you. Stop oversharing. Stop opening your aura to the wrong people. It was something I really had to learn, especially so late in my life. And I've been through a lot. And you can still have that light in you. And that is what makes me who I am. But you still have to have boundaries, and you still need to understand that proximity is your protection, and not everyone deserves to have access to you. Okay? So we're going to talk a little bit more after these messages. Okay, ladies, so we are back with another episode of The Levels to Luxuriating. And now we are on level 2.1, okay? This is Lady Lux Pink. This is our very own print. You will not find this anywhere but S Desire brand, okay? We're all about exclusivity, all right? So, with this robe, this is level 2. Level 2 only calls for luxuriating. If you're going to cook, you do a light cook. A quick little saute, a quick little salad toss, nothing too much. Go ahead and make your cocktail, your mocktail, your tea, and enjoy the moment. Also get a matching scarf, which is very much signature of S Desire brand. Super transitional. You can tie it any way. You can tie it in 5 or 6 different ways. I'll show you soon. And it's a part of your self-care and your elevation. So if you're looking to elevate your loungewear experience, I want you to shop S Desire brand at CherrellDesire.com. And having, baby boomer as a mom and a Generation X as a, older siblings, they absolutely had more of a culture of centering men. And me and my mom had a real good conversation not too long ago, and she was like, that's what they were taught. They all were taught, you get married, you get this and that and the third. So I was the youngest of 3 of us. And once I started to become of age, and I had boyfriends all through high school, and then I got to my 20s and things like that. Actually, my last lover boyfriend Actually, I was what, 19? I was dating him like my last year of high school, and then I turned 19 and he got arrested for murder. And it was very, very just random. It was so random. I didn't even know he carried a gun. Like, it was very much like shocking, okay? And me and him had a lot of like, when somebody is kind of like, you have like that boyfriend who's kind of like obsessed with you. Like, we never would break. I would try to break up, and he'd be outside my door, kind of thing, or calling me. He was always calling me at night, and we would have our little talks, and we were very close. But there was something in me that was always trying to get away, I guess, because I never wanted to feel controlled in a relationship. I never wanted to feel like I wasn't getting everything that I needed. If I don't feel satisfied in this, I don't want to be here, and I'm gonna leave because I'm gonna show you I don't need you, kind of thing. So I always kind of had that. So that was like probably one of my first grievances of losing someone close like that, because that was like, that was mine, in my head. So losing in such a horrific way through the streets of Philadelphia. And then I started to try to date in my 20s, and then it just wasn't the same. And then I got to my 30s, and then I got scared because I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be married by now, and I'm supposed to have a baby and all these things. And it wasn't giving. And my mom would ask like, oh, when you gonna meet somebody? She would obsessively ask me this. And it was something that started to bother me. And then I got to a point, I think in my late 30s, I got to a point like, I don't even think I want that. Like, unless it's somebody so amazing and somebody who's in alignment with me, I don't even know if I want this, because everybody else I see in a relationship, everybody else has centered their life around a man, ain't really doing so good. They ain't that happy. They don't have that much freedom and free thoughts, and just, it was only like a small amount of women that I knew that was like living life and still had that. And so it was very rare for me to see. And also looking at my family members, it was just like everybody was like miserable. So I'm like, okay, is this really what I want? I kind of do like my peace, because I actually did get into more so in my mid 20s, I actually did get into a serious relationship, and it sent me into a deep depression. So that started to, then once I really got over the hump and realized like, this may not be for you right now, and until you meet somebody that really is on your level, it's okay to just be living life. So I got that revelation, especially when my sister passed away in 2021. Ooh, I was like, because it just, when I tell you, losing my sister sent me into a different dimension. And ever since then, I feel like my spiritual gifts has been upgraded from then. I really got the epiphany and said, oh no, we are not doing this. We are not doing this. I just saw through everybody's mask, and I really started to really, really so with men, I already for the most part had my boundaries up. And then it was something that I actually had to also realize in friendships and business, that I also had the boundaries. So it kind of was like little sections of a learning experience. But with men, I definitely realized like, okay, no, this is not how you're going to be dating. This is not what you want. This is, these are the boundaries. These are the no's and the yeses. If this is not how he coming, then that's it. Like, we're not playing these games. So I got to that point, but I also wanted to share, because women are dating and they don't know their value yet. So just like I was talking about, like the beautiful woman or the divine woman who don't know her power, and she's allowing so much access to her that she has so many energy leakages in her aura, and is actually detrimental to her elevation, because she doesn't know, and she's kind of ignorant to it, and she's just kind of giving up all her goods and all her energy, all her goodness to the wrong people, and they just taking, siphoning and harvesting her energy, and she has no idea. I want to, and I don't care how old you are, because sometimes it's not even an age thing, it's just a knowledgeable thing. Sometimes you just don't know. But be very mindful on just who you're dating, who you're giving access to. I know it was girls that I knew, they would meet a guy online and the guy come to their house. I'm like, what? Like, I just never understood it. Because I always was like, you're not scared that, that they're going to be weird and they might stalk you after. Like, so if you're dating, just be really mindful of what kind of information that you're sending, what kind of people, what information you're giving them. Like, you don't have to give them a bunch of information. They can be on standby. Like, you really just need to do the work, get to know them, take it slow. And it was an interview I saw with Jennifer Lewis, who is an actress, and she actually suffered from bipolar, and the bipolar disorder made her promiscuous, and she was saying she had sex with over 60 men or something like that. And she said back then she thought it was all good until she realized her body was a temple. And I said, "Ooh, that was such a powerful statement." Because if you are dating and you think that you want to give these men your body, think about it before you do it, okay? Because you can't take back the body. I mean, you can cleanse your womb, you can do all the things, but you can't delete them, okay? So if you're dating, make sure you are protecting yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Because once I really digested sex on the spiritual level, I don't want nobody touching me unless it's my person, my divine partner, the person that God made in my reflection of my higher self. And I'm so glad I wasn't introduced to him, or I wasn't with him in my lower frequency stages, because I wouldn't even been ready for like this version of me, the man that would match this version of me, baby. Okay. It's going to be a vibe. But if you're working on yourself, protect yourself as much as you can. If you still want to have the experience, but whatever, protect yourself emotionally, spiritually, because there are people out here who just want to drain you and collect your energy. So if I could say anything about like dating, the whole boundaries and the power of proximity, yeah, like if you are still online dating, I always am not a fan of online dating. You are actually exposing yourself to some of the most just how can I say it? A bunch of Jezebel energy. Just men with a lot of lust and addictions and just dark. And like, if you really are a divine woman, if you're watching this, I would say that you're either in your work in progress mode or you're there. You do not want to be online, because there are so many low energies, demonic energies that are on those apps trying to find somebody to drain and suck dry and Lord knows what else. So if you want to be mindful of the boundaries and your proximity, then get off those online sites. If your image, your picture, and are on them sites, I will challenge you to delete that today and take time to look on Eventbrite and local events and go there and just meet people and fill them out. Fill them out and use your gifts, your God-given woman intuition to figure out if that is somebody you want to exchange numbers with and you want to get to know, because you can avoid a lot of bad experiences if you really take heed to your boundaries. Because this is payback season, okay? I was like, it was pretty much like God gave me, like, he said, okay, it's time for you to talk now. Okay, you ready. It's like I had a dream of a graduation, and I'm like, okay, it's time. It's time for me to get back in front of the camera. So thank you, ladies, so much for just being patient. And just being a part of our community. If you're not a part of our community, make sure you visit SherrellDesire.com, sign up to our email list. We'll be sending text motivations, and we are posting on the blog. We have our own lifestyle blog on the website, so you can always get great just affirmations and inspiration and empowerment in our blog. I love that. I've been blogging since 2007 on MySpace, okay? When we talk about creatives, I've been doing it from day one, okay? So it was so imperative that my website also had a blog. So if you are into blog reading and just kind of knowing more about the brand, then make sure you read our blog. It's right on our website. What else? So yeah, this is for the women who are building quietly. They're rebuilding their lives. They're healing. Everything is not You're not doing it for a show. It's not a trend. Like, you're really doing the work. This is for you. Cocktails and Convo is for you. We started Cocktails and Convo in 2017 on Instagram Live before anybody else. And it was just a way for me to connect with my community and do live shopping and kind of have, like, it was pretty much HSN, Wendy Williams, and girl night. Like, I had it all figured out, okay? So now that we brought it over to YouTube about maybe 2 years ago, I'm just so excited just to grow the platform and really just live in my purpose. And that's what the fasting is for, so I can really do the work. I didn't want to show up here and be a pretender. I didn't want to show up here and be fake and phony, because there's a lot of people. And this season, that's another clarity that I got. This season is going to be for the authentic ones, the chosen ones that's really about this life, who really is trying to move the collective forward and elevate the collective. All of those that are fraudulent, yeah, they're going to get a good awakening as well. So if you just found us over here, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. For all the girls who's been rocking with us since Lord knows when. 2013 is when S Desire brand was launched. I was in business since 2007 when I was just Cheryl's Beauty Boutique, okay? And now we are 2 years in a row winner on Perispace for one of the top spaces in Philadelphia. Yes. And we are going to do a in-person celebration before the year is out, okay? We already won for 2026, baby, okay? So just be patient. We're going to have something here in the studio. So if you're in the tri-state area, I would love to see you. What else? Yeah, so just stay tuned. We'll have a new episode of Cocktails and Convo. I'm still trying to figure out the posting schedule, but you're going to see me at least once a month, okay? But a little bit more might also happen. We'll see. We'll see how it. But so make sure you share this. Let's get the views up. Let's get the subscribes up. Even if we don't, we're going to be still rocking out over here, okay? Because the people, the women that are supposed to get this message is going to watch and is going to hear and is going to take heed and is going to take action toward their elevation, their transformation, and really glowing in their goddess energy. That's what we do over here, okay? So I hope you have an amazing weekend. We'll be back, and stay fabulous. Bye.